You know how there are days sometimes when you cannot really fall asleep, and that's basically because your brain is at its most active that it's been in a decade. A couple of months ago, I was in that situation, and I came up with an idea for a short film. But for the sake of budget, which I didn't have, or location, which I also didn't have, I thought, I won't really be able to do that. That is, unless I animate it. Did I ever animate anything ever in my life? No. But I drew. I drew a lot actually. I kind of drew in places I shouldn't have been drawing in the first place, like my history class or my math class. It got me into a lot of trouble, but did I ever stop doing that? Now, I stopped liking my teachers because they kept taking away my drawings. But despite that, throughout all these years, I accumulated some sort of skill. So here are my credentials. I always loved drawing people, and I thought being able to draw them well is the ultimate skill of an artist, which it isn't. I drew a lot of portraits. I drew celebrities, my friends, random people from Pinterest. You know, the faces that every artist drew. And then I thought that this wasn't good enough, so I learned figure drawing. I used a lot of ballet references. Needless to say, it made me want to put down my pencil and take up ballet instead, but I persevered. After all this, I started looking into character design because that, for some reason, seemed more complicated than drawing people. So I started figuring out this side of art and challenging myself to incorporate character into the character designs, some sort of storytelling or humor. I like this one. Look at this guy trying to climb a mountain after only having read books about it. But don't you worry, I came up with a story for him and he gets out just fine. So after all these years, I was like, I can definitely animate a short film. Yeah, right. I'm just gonna speed it up because we're watching everything in 24 FPS anyway. Didn't help. Unfortunately, I was wrong. You see, I was thinking about animation in terms of art skill, first and foremost. However, animation is all about the movement. And then I realized that if I am passionate about this story, I will have to spend more time on learning the actual skill of animation. So I found a list of animation exercises and started going through them. From small ones to bigger ones, and a lot of them I left choppy and unfinished because at the end of the day, these were not my main goal. My goal with those was to make me grasp the idea of movement and timing, which I still have to work on a lot. If you are an experienced animator watching this video, I'm so sorry you have to witness this chaos. And you are free to point out if that is a good strategy at all. But I feel like it works for me since without the polishing stage, I don't have to allot a crazy amount of time on an exercise. However, I definitely see how these can benefit your portfolio if you're striving to be an animator professionally. And listen, I always knew that, but with this very brief experience of animating, I just want to say, animators are incredible. It takes so much time to animate anything. It is absolutely amazing that they're able to make us forget that the drawing is not actually alive. So as I was doing these animation exercises, definitely every day for sure, I couldn't help but getting distracted with the short film idea. And despite the fact that there are actual guidelines online on how to approach animating your first short film, for some reason I chose the route of chaos again, in which the fun parts come first. So I came up with a couple of backgrounds that I'm going to use, as well as the characters of the short film. All but one of them. As I showed them to one of my friends, he said that the wife is too pretty for the husband, so that would make the characters unrealistic. Which I personally don't agree with. I feel what makes this unrealistic is the fact that this is animation, but what do I know? And I am doing all of this so that as I'm progressing through the next half of the animation exercises, I stay motivated to get back to animating the actual movie and finish this mess. Oh. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video, and stay tuned for the part 2 where I actually start animating the short film with some animating experience, and I'll see you then.